Hi everyone, our journal page today, and I've got this journal. It's a sketchbook paper, and I'm just gluing down two pages together so I will have nice surface to work on. And I'm starting by just putting down some acrylic paint. I've got some cream, some very light blue, some more light purplish blue, grayish, I don't know. This is hydrogena blue, bead blue, and cream, whatever. I just want to put some paint, and I took the cream just because I didn't want stark white on my page. So this was the next best thing. So just putting down some paint. I'm going to put it quite randomly on my page. There is no planning. Just want some coverage. First layer, and maybe I've got some light mint, so I'm going to play with these colors. Okay, so taking some flat brush, a large one, just so it won't take all day to cover the page. So I'm just starting with putting down the colors, changing in between, don't care, just having some fun smearing paint. And I'm not using the cream yet. First I want to put some color, and then I'm going to use the cream to create some variation in the color, more light tones in several places. And probably at the middle, I like my middle of the page to be a lighter. So taking a little bit of the cream and going here in the middle, and not only, and just smearing paint, having fun with it. I don't care about the edges. I know that I am going to use some darker paint for the edges, so it doesn't bother me right now. Okay, so I just want to add a little bit more of this color. Basically, this is playing until you like what you see. So, got this. Now I want to go very dark on the edges, and I'm going to take something that is stronger in color. If I have the light mint, I'm going to go with this, which is oxide green, and it's a little bit or a lot darker than what I've used. So I'm going to put this here, and if I used something like this which looks a little bit purplish, then I am going to look for something like this, which is darker. So that's what I'm going to play with. Right now I'm going to take another brush because this one is with light color, and I'm going to take some of this, and now I'm going over the edges like so. And this is again quite random. And some of the paint is still wet, so they mix, and I am getting more variations in the color. So I'm trying to get off most of the paint so I can get inside very gently with less paint and more, make it a distressed look. That's the best way I can describe it. Yeah, so used the oxide green, and let's see, I think this purple is just just a tidbit too too dark, so I'm looking for another shade that I can use. I don't know. Well, I'm going to use it, but I'm going to try and be gentle using it. And again, another brush, and I'm going to dab it so I won't have too much. And again, just going over the edges. So I'm darkening the edges, but I still want to see some of the oxide green. And again, with very little amount of paint, I'm going on the inside. I'm keeping most of the paint towards the edges and going inside with less. You can hardly see it, but it does add to the background. Okay, I really like what's going on here, but I want it a little bit more dramatic, and I'm going for black now. Still working on the edges. So I've got some black here. Okay, not switching because these two are quite dark. So I'm using the same brush, and again with little bit of paint. I'm just going over the edges, and again very gently, so I still got the oxide green, I still got the purple, and when I'm finished with the edges, I'm probably going to again go a little bit more towards the inside of the page. Right now I'm just taking care of the edges and trying to get a more dramatic look, a little bit more contrast between the lighter inside and this dark outside. So less paint, and I'm working with a flat and hard bristle brush, and it gives me this distressed textured look. Just a little bit on the inside. Yeah, okay, I think this is it for the edges. Maybe just a little bit more black in several places. I was so careful with the amount of paint on my brush that I need to add a little bit more black in several places. Okay, I think this is it. So now I want to add some details to my background in terms of interest and texture, visual texture, and I'm going to wait for this to dry, and then I'm going to do some stamping and stenciling. I'll be back. I'm back, and I've got this stamp set and bought it on AliExpress. I'm going to stamp it randomly around my page to add some interest, and I really don't care what elements I'm using. I just want to use this new set, and it really doesn't matter. It just, you have flowers, you use flowers, you have butterflies, use butterflies, whatever will give you interest to the page. And of course whatever you like in terms of shapes. So as you can see, just stamped this. I think I will try and add some of this text. Let's see, let's try this one. So quite randomly, and don't much care about the perfection of the print. Yeah, and well, let's maybe this also. Try not to overthink it and just stamp away. Yeah, taking it from this acrylic block just so I can stamp like this. And okay, so some stamping done. Do I want some more stenciling in the back? I'm not sure. Maybe. Let's go for it. So this stencil, and I've got some makeup sponge. I still got some of this oxide green. I think it will look nicely on top of this, so that's what I'm going for. And I'm doing it quite lightly because I don't want it to overwhelm the page. It's just going to be part of the background. Dabbing excess and also dabbing here quite lightly. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just to add more interest. Yeah, and well, I've got a little bit more here. Oh, all the colors are mixing and I really don't care. Okay, so I really like this background. Now I'm going for my focal image, which is this stencil, and I was going for black, but now I'm thinking maybe the dark purple. I don't know, maybe I'll just play around. So I'm putting some of this dark purple here, and I still got black. Maybe I'll start with the black here at the bottom, dabbing excess. Like so. And I think I will keep the black in several places at the bottom of these flowers. Maybe, I don't know how much of it will show, but I'm trying. And now I'm going for this purple, dabbing excess and letting it mix. Again, I don't know how much of it will show. If they are both dark, so maybe it won't be so noticeable. Okay, so I'm going to continue stenciling this flower, branches, whatever. And I even think that I will probably need another layer. It seems like the paint is not opaque enough and I want it to stand out on my page. So I will probably need for this to dry and then do another layer. So I'll be back. I'm back. So I finished stenciling and I really like what's going on here. I just want to add some details. I want my flowers to be more pronounced. I'm thinking of using this white gel pen to just add some definition and, well, highlights for that matter. And I'm going on top of each shape like this. I'm not really concerned about being precise, like so. It also, I have some spillage of acrylic paint when I've stenciled, so I can now just fix it a little bit. Like so. So I'm just going to go over all of this, and mostly so it would be more defined and more interesting and less flat. When stenciling with dark paint, black or anything like this, dark purple, then it becomes a silhouette and it really looks flat, and I really like it. I like doing silhouettes, but I don't want it that that flat. So now I'm just adding this white line on the top of the shapes to get it less flat and more interesting. So this is going to take some time. I'm also, when I've looked at it, I really felt I need a little bit more detail to the flowers, and I'm just going to take a Posca pen and I do some dots at the bottom of each flower. I don't know, but it just seemed to me like it's needed a little bit something more. Using a stencil doesn't mean that it needs to stay that way. It's not set in stone. Do what you like, add what you like, subtract what you like. Just have fun with it. Maybe I will even go around this little dots with the white gel pen. I'm not sure. As I said, I'm playing with it. I'm just putting these dots wherever I think they are needed, and that's it. Being careful not to put my hand where I've already done some and it's still wet. Yeah, I really like it. Maybe if I am having the white on the top, maybe I'm just going like this and add a little bit at the bottom. Again, just adding some detail and variation to the color so it would look less flat. Yeah, I'm liking it. So just going to keep at it. Okay, so I'm going to continue this and I'll be back. So this is it. I've finished going over with the white gel pen and finished with the magenta Posca pen to add some a color to the flowers and some dots and white mark gel pen around them, and now I'm really satisfied. That's it. That's my page. I really am liking it. So this is it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.